It is Wednesday, October the 22nd, and here is your Round Rock, Texas housing market update for the month of September. So, September numbers have come out. My name is Jason Hamilton with Hamilton Homes and Land, specializing in residential and farm and ranch here in Central Texas. Today, we're going to be looking at Round Rock, which happens to be my hometown, where I've been living now for the last 8 years. And we're going to begin with kind of an overview of market conditions as a whole across the Austin metropolitan statistical area. And then we're going to kind of drill down until we get to Round Rock, Texas, so that we can compare how the housing market is faring in Round Rock versus the larger metro area. The first thing we're going to look at is just the overall picture for the Austin MSA. So, median sales price in the entire metro area, which covers Travis County, Williamson County, Hayes County, Caldwell County. Um, Median sales price is $420,000. This is across all home types too, by the way. This is your single family residential. This is your condo, multifamily. $420,000 sale price median. It's down 1.8% year over year. So pretty modest softening of prices. That's a reversal from what we saw in August, where prices remained flat. So now we're getting into those fall months. Prices are starting to see the effect of that 1.8% drop. But here's the thing: closed sales across the Austin metro are up 2,416 closed sales in the month of September. That's a lot of homes being moved. It's up 6.7%. So what that tells us is that buyers are moving back into the market, even though we're in a historically slower time of the year. 6.7% increase um, year over year. Sales dollar volume is up as well, 5.6%, 1.33 billion. That's a lot of homes being moved. Months of inventory. This is the one that number people love to talk about in real estate. It's up a modest zero point 0.6 months, so just over half a month of inventory increase to 5.7 months of inventory. And what that number means, in case you're not familiar with the term, is that if there was no more inventory added to existing inventory, right? If there were no more new listings added to the market with the current demand that we have right now in the Austin area, our current housing supply would last 5.7 months. In 5.7 months, there will be no more active listings. So that's considered leaning towards a buyer's market. It's a soft buyer's market. It's not an aggressive buyer's market, but it is a buyer's market. New listings are down 5.7%, 3,327 new listings. That's contributing to, well, that's a reflection of the higher closed sales number, right? It's also a reflection of the more modest rise in months of inventory. Active listings um, are up 10%, 13,665, even though there are fewer new listings. So still a lot of inventory sitting on the market, and pending sales are also up 1%, showing that slight increase in buyer demand that we're seeing. Uh, Average days on market 76 days, and average close to list price 91.6%, meaning that homes are selling at 91.6% of what they were listed for. So as we kind of continue and drill this down, we're going to look at Williamson County. Okay, so we've looked at the entire area. Now we're going to look at Williamson County, which is the county that most of Round Rock sits in. Median sales price here is at 406,722, which is down 2.8%. So what we're seeing is that as we move north out of the on the northern end of the Austin metro, there's a lag effect, right? So Austin tends to lead, and then the surrounding counties tend to follow. So whereas median sales price was down a more modest, 1.6% or whatever it was, for the entire metro, it's a little bit sharper decline here in Williamson County at 2.8%. We'll compare that to Round Rock here in a second. Closed sales, though, are also up here 5.9%. And then sales dollar volume is up 4.7%. Months of inventory is up a little bit more, 1.3 months, 5.5 months of inventory. Still a little bit tighter inventory here in Williamson County than we see in the metro as a whole. New listings here also down 8.3%. Active listings in Williamson County are up 4,301. So we are seeing more active listings here in Williamson County than we are in the metro as a whole. That's good news if you're a buyer. If you're looking to move into Williamson County, which is an incredibly popular place to move to right now. Um, Sorry, I just saw a guy walking his dog out my window. 4,301 um, reflects increased opportunities for buyers. So we'll get into that more in a minute too. Pending sales here are down 4.3 compared to them being up by a little bit in the Austin Metro as a whole. All right, so as we get into Round Rock particular, Round Rock encompasses 3 different zip codes, and prices vary widely among those zip codes, right? So we're going to take this as an aggregate. Um, Number of sales in Round Rock in the month of September, we're only looking at the month of September, uh, down slightly, 2.1% over the previous year, 137 closed sales. The median sales price in Round Rock in September was $380,000. Now, that's pretty indicative of where the buyer demand is, because and I think I could show you a chart of that here in a minute. But the greatest demand for buyers here in Round Rock is homes priced between $300,000 and $400,000. So if you're a seller, or if you're thinking about becoming a seller, thinking about moving your home, and if it's priced in that $300,000 to $400,000 price point, your chances of moving your home are going to be well above average, right? Well above the median. So keep that in mind. If price point really matters in this market, and there's a lot of demand still for those homes, $300,000 to $400,000. So depending on where you live, depending on the size of your home, market conditions in your neighborhood, if fair market value in that area prices your home below 400,000, you're going to see a much shorter turnaround time, much shorter days on market. Median days on market in Round Rock is 59, which is up pretty sharply from the previous year, 21. And then list to close ratio is 92.28%, so a little bit stronger than Austin as a whole. So looking at buyer demand, this chart right here shows historical buyer demand beginning January of 2023. So over the past, what is that, almost 2 years, going into September, and we see that typical fall that we see every fall. Every fall demand falls, right? As the peak selling season of summer is behind us, and we're seeing that here with that list to close ratio going down to almost 92%. So just something to watch for. Again, that's great opportunity for buyers. So that's going to be a theme that keeps coming up. Monthly inventory in Round Rock, and this is a great chart because it shows what's happening right now today, October 22nd. And look at this: median days on market today is 35. That compares to, like, what did we just see? 59 days on market. So what that's telling me is that in September, because there are fewer new listings in September, there's a little bit less inventory, and so your days on market are going down a little bit. So that's positive news if you're a seller, especially if you're in that $300,000 to $400,000 price point. Average list price in September for single family home, $559,548. There's 116 of those sitting out there with that median price point. So there's a lot of numbers to crunch, right? What I have seen success with in this market that we are in is that if you are a seller and you are flexible, and by flexible, I mean if you are able to accept fair market value for your home. And by the way, the bulk of sellers here, of homeowners here in Williamson County, are still sitting on mountains of equity. If you bought prior to 2020, for sure, you're sitting on really good equity, and you've seen your home values increase by double digits percentage wise. It's really only those homeowners that bought at the peak of the market in 2022 that are sitting on an equity deficiency, right? You're upside down in your home. So if you're a seller, if you're thinking about selling your home, I'd encourage you to reach out and let's do a market analysis for your home, because if you can price correctly, your home will move. I had a listing in 78681 zip code that was on the market for 2 days because we priced it right. We didn't price it below market. We priced it at market, and it sold in 2 days. It was there are it's not all doom and gloom. And if you're a buyer, this the world is your oyster right now. If you are thinking about moving into this area, I couldn't think of a better time to buy. And I know you're thinking, well, I just want to wait for rates to drop. That's what everybody's saying. But listen, people have been saying that now for over 2 years. I'm just waiting for the market to improve. I'm waiting for rates to drop. If you're a buyer and you're waiting for the market to improve, when the media talks about the real estate market, they're always talking about it from the seller's perspective. And so when they say that it's a tough market or it's a bad market or it's a down market, that means it's a down market for sellers. If it's a down market for sellers, that typically means it's a great market for buyers. And right now, it is a great market for buyers. Now, our rates where we want, not quite yet, but they have dropped quite a bit. So we're sitting at about 6.2% national average for the 30-year fixed mortgage rate, which is down, from where we were at like 7% just a few months ago. So rates have come down. We're expecting more rate cuts, but here's the trend: when rates begin to drop, there's an inverse relationship between the rates and the home prices, right? So if you wait along with everybody else for the rates to fall, yeah, you're gonna get a sweet deal on your mortgage, but guess what? You're gonna be paying more for that home. And so my advice to you is, if you're thinking about making a move, especially if you don't have a house to sell, if you are maybe a first time home buyer, or your house is already sold and you're in kind of this in between thing, maybe you're renting right now, buy a house, get the deal, because fall is an incredible time, especially in this market, to buy a home. Buy it now and then refinance in a couple of years or in a year, whatever your lender recommends for you to do. Because if you can stomach that higher rate for just a little bit and then refinance, then you'll get the best of both worlds, and you'll have a steal of a deal on a house, and you're going to have a mortgage rate that you can live with, and you'll have positive equity faster than anybody else. If you wait until the market improves, then you're going to wind up paying more for that home, yes, at a lower rate, but you're going to wait a lot longer to realize positive equity in your house. So just some food for thought. If you are thinking about making a move and you're not tied, especially if you're not tied to the school calendar, um, please give me a call and let's chat about opportunities, because there's so much inventory. If you are a buyer right now, you have the luxury of being picky. I could show you 30 homes probably in your price point, and you can find the one that speaks to you, right? So there's a lot of opportunity. One last thing, just about the state of the economy. A lot of negative news, obviously, about the economy and the nation as a whole. The economy in Texas right now, by the way, is expanding. We are continuing to add jobs. GDP is continuing to expand here in the state of Texas, and things are looking really good. People are continuing to move here. Jobs are being created. Um, if we can figure this water thing out, the future is really, really bright here in the state of Texas. And uh, so if you're thinking about relocating, looking at Round Rock, Texas, I know this city like the back of my hand. I'd love to talk to you about opportunities here and in the surrounding areas as well. Jason Hamilton with Hamilton Homes and Land, specializing in residential and farm and ranch here in Central Texas, north of Austin. Hope you have a great day. Hey, if you like this video, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. There will be more market updates coming your way, and we will talk about other areas here in the North Austin metro area as well, including Cedar Park, Leander, Hutto, Liberty Hill, Lago Vista, as well as farm and ranch updates for all of you land lovers out there as well. So hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments what area you want me to cover next.